Greetings, Dr. Tyra, and I do want to discuss a few things when it comes to trying to understand how to work through information and knowledge itself. And one thing about, I guess you can call seeking for truth, is there tends to be a lot of contradictory information out there. And since there's so many different articles that tend to override or omit or contradict another article, it makes it very cumbersome trying to arrive to a point of actuality and truth and what will actually work. And what I'm speaking about in terms of, it's mainly in terms of science itself. Everything is science per se. Science is just really the study of the physical universe. So you call that science, or the science, the essence of the psyche. So once you study the science, or the essence of the psyche, you go to an area called metaphysics or metascience. And that's what happens before you see things. And that's what we're trying to focus on. So whenever we're trying to explain human history and things of that sort, time periods, empires, dynasties, we're always going to be conflicted because we are the human element trying to explain the episodes when we are the epic. You see, we are the thing to be understood, not the episodes itself. That's why the greater marker of psychology is not in a psychology book. The way to study psychology is to study history. That's the best way to understand the psychology of a people or a group or a time period. So basically, truth is always going to go down a certain path, and what that means is whenever you go to the end of that product, if the end product looks like the beginning product, then it's truth. All right. So if something's sustainable over a long period of time, then that end product will look like the beginning of the product. So how something begins is how it ends. This is why when you see a seed and then it blossoms and turns into a flower, and the end product of that is what? A seed. Now, it may not be the same seed, but the end product looks the same as the beginning product. Now, what do I say that is? Human history is going through cycles. It has to go through cycles. And this world is never going to end. It may shift, it may change, it may look unrecognizable at certain times, but it's not going to end. Now, part of the episodes, and one of the episodes is Earth. That's one of the episodes. That's the episode we're on now. But we have gone through many journeys here, many journeys throughout the galaxy. In fact, there were actually times where there were actually galaxy wars in the stars. And there were certain deities and things of that sort which were fighting in the stars, which they would call light walkers, which the word Luke means light. And so they were actually Luke Skywalkers walking in the sky, and there were wars in the stars, which you get, the movie Star Wars from that. So these names of these movies are not just coming at you from someone's brain per se. It's actually touching on different texts, Sumerian texts and Kemetic texts and things of that sort. And so actually the capital of Egypt today is called Cairo, Cairo, Cairo. And if you really look into that word, you'll see that the word Cairo actually means the Mount of Mars. Now, why would the capital of Egypt be called the Mount of Mars? Well, if you look on Mars, you'll see that there's actually statues and pyramid structures on the planet itself. And this has been confirmed through other sources. And I'll always implore people to do their own research, because it's always easy to discard something or deny something when you haven't really actually gone into studying it. But I would say go in and look into that and see what has been discovered or what's been found on Mars itself. And you'll start to see, and you'll start to expand your mind, not just globally, but galactically, which we call the Galactic Confederation. Now, this is why we have different types of plants on the planet. Now, you see how those words are similar, because it's the plants that take you to the planet. They could take you physically, or it could take you mentally. And some of those as mental are hallucinogenics and psychedelic type drugs and those sorts. Now, I'm not condoning those things. I'm just telling you why certain people may feel a certain affinity towards certain medicinal plants, and what it does to them mentally. Now, if you look at the word, for example, let's take this for example. You have, let me just kind of help you follow this trail here real quickly. Now, in ancient Kemetic times, there was a certain planet, a star, that would actually move up a certain amount of degrees every time of the year. Usually it was in July. And when that star moved up a little bit, they knew that it was about to flood, and the farmers and everybody could get prepared for it. And this basically the whole civilization of ancient Kemet could get prepared for the flood that would take place. Now, since this star always moved up a certain amount of degrees, they said that's a very good star to watch for. We call that and you call today a dog is a dog watch, or a dog is an animal that watches things for you, a guard dog or whatnot. So we say that's the dog star. We called it the dog star. Now, the dog star had a connection with a star constellation called Sirius. Now, Sirius, if I can kind of break this down for you, our planet revolves around the sun, but our sun revolves around a greater sun called Sirius. This is why you have Sirius radio stations. You get all these channels and stuff, because it's supposed to be like an ethereal type of thing. But with that said, there was two main planets of Sirius, or two main stars of Sirius, called Sirius A and Sirius B. And those are two planets, or two stars. So we say in English language, when we say two, we say bi, bi. Now, if it was connected to the dog star, we would call a dog a canine. All right. So canine, and you combine that with the word bi, canine bi, cannabis. So what I'm saying is, certain medicinal plants actually are not essentially native to this planet. A lot of these plants are coming from other star systems of ancient galactic times, and have been put here by what we call the Dogon people, which you get the word dog from, Dogon, the Dogon people. And the Dogon people have been, even today, NASA knows a lot about the Dogon people, because they have actually discovered things that NASA couldn't even discover with their own telescopes and technology. And they had people go into their Dogon tribe and try to figure out how they knew about the Dogon star, the dog star, and Sirius A and Sirius B with no telescope. But what I'm saying is, the cannabis comes from the Dogon star system, Sirius A, Sirius B. And that's why you get the word dog, canine, bis, cannabis, which it does to the mind when you do consume or smoke it. Now, I don't condone that. I'm not saying that on the video. I'm just giving you information here. Now, So what it does, supposedly to the mind, is it's supposed to take you mentally to this galactic mindset, and this is why what you call feeling high, because that star system is high in the sky. So what you may call feeling high is nothing but a remembrance or a connection to that doggone star system. And there's other biological facts of that too. It's irritation of the brain and things of that sort too. But I just want to kind of widen your mind on what it is that we're dealing with here. When we're talking about Earth, we're talking about a whole system of an ecosystem that harbors life, but it harbors a lot of light from other galaxies and planets and that sort. This is why we are what we are. We are a connection of a lot of different star systems and that sort. This is what they call in biology junk DNA. We'll go into that more into a different video as well, because I don't want to keep this video too long. But there's a lot behind that. There's a lot behind shapeshifting. People talk about how we're able to shapeshift because we've been through all these galactic systems and we've been able to shift into different organisms. Now, keep in mind, before you were born and before you came out your mother's womb, you were actually every animal before you came out. This is why you call it the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. You may look like a seahorse at one point. You may look like a different animal, different types of animals at different points of the trimester. Now, certain tribes of Nigeria, like the Yoruba tribe and those different tribes like that, they were able to tap back into these different trimesters in the physical body like this at any given moment. And that's what allowed them to shapeshift into different animals. So if you want to learn more about shapeshifting, I'll go more into that a little bit later. But that's what shapeshifting is: the ability to tap back into those early trimesters of your mother's womb, which allows you to talk, turn into a lion or a deer or anything that you needed to do, because those animals you already were inside your mother's womb. And the last manifestation of that is the human being. So this is why we say human beings are the highest energies on the planet, beings on the planet. And that's not just speculative. That's actually could be proven through different type of photography, Curlian photography and things of that sort. That shows the energy of the body and that's such. But I don't want to keep this video too much longer. It's already getting a little too long. But I just want to thank everybody for all the support, and the restaurant's doing very well. I thank my family. I can't even go through all that. So many, my brothers, support, my sister, my father, my mother, niece, nephew, this family, everybody just been so supportive, and just continue just to hang on and know that things are just going to continue just growing and expanding. So, but yeah, like with that said, just keep that in mind about the galaxy and the solar system, and understanding that a lot of things that we're dealing with are coming from a broader perspective than just planet Earth. Things are beyond this planet. But that's not to discard this planet. This planet is very important. This planet gives you a physical body, and all the other planets give you organs. So, and we'll go into that more in detail later on as well. But with that said, I'll touch bases with you guys later on. Remember, this is a lifestyle, not a diet, and continue to stay tuned. I'll do some recordings of the restaurant and how things are going. It's growing every day. We're on Grubhub, DoorDash, and we're also on Uber Eats as well. So just keep a lookout for us. If you want some real soul food, food for the soul, from the soul, which in Latin that means the sun. So some real soul food. Come check out the restaurant and get some good live plant-based food. So sunfire food. With that said, you guys have a beautiful night, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace.